Hello everyone, here we are, Oxley MotoGP podcast, Saturday, the update from Saturday in the MotoGP in Assen. What happened today? Happened a lot because Saturday is big action for everybody. It starts with the free practice, the qualifying 1, qualifying 2, and then it's the sprint race. Now the sprint races, sometimes they're beautiful, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're boring. Today here in Assen, I would say it was a bit of boring. I was just really hoping something spectacular would happen, but Mark won it again. But it's not always about who wins the race. Sometimes it's about who does not win it, or who throws it away, or who makes a mistake. What I'm going to do, at the entrance of the paddock in all the MotoGPs, they have this like wall of fame sort of thing where all the journalists are waiting on Thursday and Wednesday for the famous riders to arrive to get their pictures. You get it. They're not waiting for me. So I just pass them and give some comment about all of these riders, where they were in the race on Friday and Saturday. Tomorrow we have the main race. Vinales did a really good job, but started a little bit late. Sorry, I had to check my notes as well. Vinales 7th, but I think he had the fastest lap of the race. He has a beautiful problem. He's very fast on used tires. But this also means he's not fast enough on a new tire. And if you're not fast enough on a new tire, you don't start on the first 2 rows. You don't start on the first 2 rows in the sprint race, you might as well not come at all. You make it very hard for yourself. These sprint races are very intense because there's no tire drop, and there is overtaking is anyway always a little bit different to MotoGP. So that's not the easiest thing. He did a really good job. He's supposed to do so. He's on a 2024 Ducati, which is, as we all know, the best bike on the grid, and he performs. He's smiling, but he shouldn't smile that much, Showan Mir. Showan had a shit start. He had already a shit Friday and a difficult Saturday morning. He wasn't qualifying nowhere, the Honda struggled a lot. Showan tried to do everything correct, but he made it up until corner 2 after the start. He got pushed wide or went a little bit over-enthusiastic in the gravel, that's it. Very short race. Zarco, again, best Honda, but best Honda doesn't mean I win it like his home race in Le Mans. It also doesn't mean I'm closer on the podium. It means he was in the top 10 in qualifying and he struggled in the race. They struggle. Honda struggle as well here as much. Later more about struggle, because tomorrow's main race can be completely different. Miguel Oliveira on the second Yamaha team, not so bad, but Yamaha struggles, so Miguel struggles. Not a lot to say there. More later about Yamaha, because there is a lot to say about Yamaha, Fabio Quartararo. For me, when Marc Marquez was winning the race, but the man of the weekend so far for me is Fabio Quartararo. This Yamaha isn't supposed to go that fast around this track as he did it, but he did it. He does it. Yesterday fasted. In the qualifying he was the fastest, starting on pole position, but being a Yamaha, it makes it lap time in a funny way. It makes it by having a very high average speed, not a super acceleration, not super late on the braking, but super high corner speeds everywhere, which is all nice and fine when you're alone. The problem in the sprint race is you're not alone. And when there's Ducati with maybe 2 times your horsepower, they overtake you, steal your line, and what are you going to do? So his only chance was if everybody has a fight and run into each other when he's leading, he can win the race, but it didn't went like that. He dropped to P5, which is still a really good result, because all the other Yamaha suffered. But then in P5 he lost it and he crashed, and fortunately he is okay. That's the story of the Yamaha. Fabio Quartararo, the third 2025 Ducati on the grid, so everybody feels sort of sorry for you, because the only 2025 Ducati that worked very well is Marc Marquez, because he is Marc Marquez. You give him something with 2 wheels and he will beat you and everybody else. Because look at Pecco, he is struggling on the same bike. Fabio Quartararo had a decent race, but didn't have a decent starting position, made up a lot of places. Forget to go fast enough in the qualifying, that's why he started from row 4 or whatever. Really good position. I think he finished 4th or something in the end. Yeah, 4th, so decent. I think he even had the fastest race lap. All nice, but you should pay more attention at the qualifying, Fabio, next time. And this guy, Alex Marquez, brother of, was 2nd again. But this 2nd was a little bit different. I mean, he's been 2nd all year basically. They're always 1 and 2, whatever it is. Overdo it a little bit. The way he was actually faster and forgot or didn't want to attack his brother. His brother was a little bit vulnerable because yesterday he decided that in the 2 fastest corners of the Assen track, I throw it down the road. So he was a little bit busted and battered, and he decided I'll take it easy in the race, no risk. Means his brother was following him. In the middle of the race, Alex was definitely faster than Marc. but sort of forgot to attack him. He was telling us how difficult it is to in Assen, but you don't need to tell somebody with the name Marquez it's difficult to attack. They always attack when they want. He didn't, I strongly feel he didn't push hard enough to attack Mark when he was clearly faster. That's it. Pedro Acosta, one of the more unhappy bunnies at the moment when they come to speak with the press, because he's on a KTM. They're struggling a little bit with KTM. He wants to be basically maybe on another bike and dreams about it, but he is on a KTM for the rest of the year. Still, yesterday and today in qualifying, he was quite good. He told us, the press, that he tried to change his riding style to be less aggressive, which is his trademark, and take the flowing with you, which is all you need here in Assen and Silverstone and Phillip Island, like these fast flowing tracks. He seemed to do that quite well until it was race time, and not very, very good. He wasn't too unhappy on P9, but the difference to the front guys is just too much. And Enea Bastianini, another KTM rider that wants to change and needs to change his riding style to be fast on the KTM. And so far he's the least successful to do that. There are glimpses of hope, but today was not one of them. And Enea Bastianini, you have to learn a lot more. What can I say about Marc Marquez? Nothing. He just wins it as he wants. He's fast. Okay, I say something about Marc Marquez. And that gives, because basically he's so fast, he should become world champion with 3-4 races to go. He's probably not going to be so early, or probably not world champion at all, because he's making lots of mistakes, like dangerous mistakes. Yesterday, on Friday morning, within 4 or 5 laps, huge crash, 200 km/h get off, unnecessary. You can't blame anything else as yourself for that. And then in the end of yesterday afternoon session, you had already really good time in, wanted to do it again, threw it down the road in the second fast corner here, hurt himself a little bit everywhere, and especially in the balls. Not so nice. So not so clever. Be a little bit more careful with fucking fast he is. Jorge Martin is the no-show because he doesn't come. Still, I want to say something. I don't have a crystal ball, but if I see how fast Marco Bezzecchi can be on the Aprilia at a couple of days, and again like today, because spoiler, Marco Bezzecchi was third in today's sprint race, and in Marco Bezzecchi, who is for me not exactly the level of Jorge Martin. Martin is a lot more talented. If Marco Bezzecchi can finish third on the Ducati, you don't need a lot of fantasy to think what Jorge Martin could have done on the same bike here. The bike that he rejected and tells, no, I don't want to ride it anymore. I go to another manufacturer next year. And they see each other in court later. Too bad, because that Aprilia is very, very interesting. He's super talented, but he had a lot of bad luck, some of it thanks to himself at the beginning of the year, and now he's in a whole world of uncertainty. Pecco, the man that is trying to come back to his old form, but the 2025 bike doesn't suit him as well, and he is a rider that is only fast when all the stars are aligned, and then he's really, really, really fast. But on the 2025 the stars are not aligned. Marc Marquez can ride around it, Fabio Quartararo every now and then, Pecco also every now and then. He tries it with different brakes or different things. He was quite good in qualifying on the front row, better than Marc, who was only on the second row, but he didn't have the race pace at all. And it's not the first time that Pecco struggles in sprint races. That's an interesting subject as well. So yeah, that's Pecco, sorry. Maybe tomorrow in the race we have a different Pecco. Brad Binder, South African, very, very brave rider, old school rider, really fights with the bike. Used to be one of the fastest KTM riders all the time. But the trend in KTM is moving a little bit. The latest thing is, when you want to be fast with the KTM, you need to be more or less like a Maverick Vinales, ride it very, very smooth and very precise. Now, smooth and precise are not exactly the first two words when you look at Brad Binder. Huge respect for his talent, but he should change his style a little bit more, learn from Bastianini, and sorry, not from Bastianini, not at all from Bastianini, from Vinales, and get there. There you see, Maverick Vinales, the guy that the first to admit, I never expected him to make such a huge jump coming from an Aprilia to a KTM that should not suit his style. He and his crew chief find another weight balance, another position on the bike, and he becomes now very, very precise and accurate. He's riding it almost like Jorge Lorenzo was riding the Yamaha in the best days. Very, very good to see, but he forgot to qualify very, very well, and then it's too difficult to do. Franco Morbidelli, where did he actually end up? Not that high, P8. He had a bit of a coming together in turn 1 or turn 2 with I think he pushed out Raúl Fernandez in turn 5. Maybe he has to go to Simon Craver for the Hubinati again. So, which is a shame because it's a 2024 Ducati, that's the best Ducati. Frankie, you need to do better. Marco Bezzecchi. He shows again today how good the Aprilia can be in Assen. I love that. I only would love it even more if he did it a little bit more times. But it was a dream to see the logic of this beautiful arrow of the Aprilia in the very fast corners. It gets really sucked to the ground, has so much more grip. So the very fast left-hander just before the last chicane, he exited so much faster than the riders in front of him that he's already underneath them. It looks like he outbrakes everybody for the last chicane, but he's already there because of the arrow. And that's a history-long thing from Aprilia. Always they're good at that corner. Well done today. Repeat it tomorrow. Jack Miller. He was more than not a happy bunny in the press conference and speaking with us. He's depressed. He had some bad luck, some shit moments, not everything come together. And when it's a shit weekend, that's typically Jack. When it's a difficult weekend, there is red flags, there is yellow flags, your tire doesn't work or whatever, then everything goes down the drain. And I feel sorry for him. There is a lot more in Jack than what he did today. Today, Jack finished in P14 on a huge difference from the first riders. Okay, it's not Fabio Quartararo, but Jack on his days can be a lot better. So, but tomorrow, and that's where I will end up, forget about the rest, not important, the last couple of riders. I want to end this video with what I expect tomorrow for the main race, because the main race is going to be probably a whole new game, and hopefully it is a whole new game with a lot more tension and a lot more overtakes. Tomorrow the track temperatures and the temperatures in general are expected to be a little bit better here in Assen. Means they can go to a medium rear tire which is more stable, they can go to the hard front tire which is a lot more stable, and then suddenly riders like Jack and everybody and other riders have a lot more chance to be, especially the KTMs as well, suddenly can be more competitive. Because manufacturers and riders work on their bikes and on the riders, and then Michelin brings some tires, and some weekend they bring tires that shoot your bike beautifully, and some weekend they bring tires that don't shoot your bike beautifully. The only exception is Ducati, where more or less everything always seemed to work. That was it from the Saturday. You like it? Let us know. We're really keen on your feedback because it's also new to us to do it. If you enjoyed it, if you like it, if you have some comments, don't hesitate, let us know. Maybe we'll come back tomorrow with a Sunday recap. Bye everyone.